Good lord, look at me in my, more than modest TF2 backpack. It sure is nice to flex on some broke-ass free-to-play niggas. It feels nice knowing that I'm in the top 1% of the TF2 class. The constant met of girlfriends, the praise of strangers hitting me like a fellow football player slapping you on the arse for scoring a touchdown, and the banter us Richies get to share between us. I wonder if the dirty peasants of this game know their place. The nasty, in the dirt faces, eating the nasty crumbs of their own filth. Oh dear. Oh, no, this can't be right. The dirty peasants among me are forming their own terrible opinions and they're gaining traction! Oh no, I must refute these terrible and wrong opinions at once!
Unusuals, festives, stranges, and any other expensive thing under the sun in TF2 is great. Stop listening to these spineless fuckers and their terrible opinions. Unusuals are amazing, and here's why. With anything that is popular, there will almost always be a counterculture behind it. Whether it be Hugbox Overwatch trying to piss on this godly game, or the virtual hats you can wear in it, there will always be a backlash towards popular stuff, and Unusuals are no exception. I can't go anywhere, it seems, in this game without being criticized about wearing Unusual. You kill me with the random crit sticky and I was wearing Unusual. Well, now, what a waste of money, faggot. You wearing the not-so-hottest and god-tieriest Unusual effect? Well, to us, you're just a second-class citizen. Yes, this counterculture even exists in the 1% world of TF2. The hierarchy knows no bounds. But alas, I'm here to shatter that stupid mindset, and I'm going to try to fight back this now mainstream idea that Unusuals are bad. And I think I know the driving force behind this terrible and shitty opinion. Stupid people with stupid YouTube channels. You might expect me to lump myself in that group to get some stupid pity humor points, but no, I'm right. We've already established this, so I'm not that dumbass. Looking at the evidence that's been shat out everywhere on the internet, the general consensus is that Unusuals are bad mainly for these 7 reasons. 1. Unusuals don't really show the true skill of the players. 2. They're unobtainable, especially with the really nice ones. 3. They have a bandwagon effect for non-unusual owners. 4. They break the TF art style. 5. They make you a favorable target with the enemy. 6. You will be targeted and scammed of your precious Unusual, even if you get it. And 7. You're literally spending time trading or using real money to buy them. All these reasons can and will be easily debunked, starting with number 1. Unusuals don't really show the true skill of the players. This is often said because it's assumed people who have Unusuals only have them because they got really lucky in unboxing, or they're a rather rich son of a bitch in life and they decided to say fuck it and buy an Unusual. However, this is almost never the case. People who have an Unusual have most likely bought it because they have invested a lot of time in playing TF2. This means that they want people to know that they're experienced enough to know what in Sam's hell they're doing, and they have a certain amount of rugged experience playing the class or classes that they sunk a lot of time in getting invested in. Here is the stupid obligatory hashtag not all TF2 players tag. Not everyone who has an Unusual is good at TF2 or has bad hats is ass. To the extreme outliers that fit the previous statement I just said, you're welcome. Oh, that's another thing a lot of these anti-Unusual plebs like to say. Well, not all Unusuals are bad, or this effect is actually really good. Stop trying to be some middle-of-the-road nerd, trying to cover your ass so you're not going to face any criticism. Slap your fat nuts on the poker table like the rest of us and stand in what you really believe in. They're unobtainable, especially the really nice ones. This is often said while looking at quote-unquote god tiers like Burning Team Captains, Cloudy Moon Killer exclusives, and Sunbeam Chrome Domes. Yeah, the really, really nice Unusual that everyone wants, but almost none of us can have, is going to be worth a shit ton of keys. You know why? Because of supply and demand. The most basic economic principle you should know like the back of your hand. The really good Unusuals will go for a really nice price. The really terrible ones will be dirt cheap because there's a surplus and nobody wants them. Duh! Now, you might say, but that's unfair. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, but the market doesn't care about your feelings. Either strap up with some keys or shut your ass up and wear that nuts and bolts stately steel toe.
They have a bandwagon effect for non-unusual owners, thus they'll feel intimidated to buy one. Not true. If a person is truly confident in their own skills in the game, then they don't need a cool flashy hat to express that. If that's you, however, you have a complex of some sort, and I hope you work it out. If they want an unusual and it's not because they want to fit in, then that's a very valid point to me to get an unusual.
But they break the TF2 art style! The TF2 art style is like many other art styles. It evolves as time goes on. Every single contemporary art movement does this. Either that, or it dies off. If the good old boys at Valve didn't do this, it wouldn't appeal to the new bloods of TF2. If it takes adding a banana hat and stupid furry shit, then that's what it takes. It's a small price to pay to keep the game going. TF2 is a business and a money machine. Valve needs to keep that as oiled and efficient as possible, otherwise you're going to have a dead game. Like it or not, cosmetics affect this game, and unusuals are cosmetics, and people are willing to pay hard-earned cash for them, so you're going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry. They put a big target on your back when you're playing the game! This is a really slippery slope complaint about unusuals. People will preach that the good old, just because he's wearing a gibbous doesn't mean he's a bad player. Well, that same logic can be applied to unusuals. And it goes both ways for both the gibbous and unusuals. Hey, maybe that guy who's doing bad with the unusual is secretly intentionally being bad, so his non-unusual teammates can get some shit done, and the enemy has some psychological warfare being hit on them. You never know, do ya? Hashtag not all. You will be targeted by scammers and you'll lose your unusual in a scam! As a connoisseur of unusuals, particularly ones of the TF logo kind and other expensive items like vintage buds, I've been targeted many a times by scammers impersonating big name unusual traders. If I was a fucking retard, I would have gotten scammed. Let me lay this down though. Scamming unusuals, CSGO knives, or any other valuable item, no matter if they're virtual or real, is illegal. These pieces of shit are breaking the law. They can only get away with it because at the time I'm making this video, the laws around virtual property are not yet set in stone, and they can anonymously take the items. However, it's still illegal. However, again, people still break the law. And if you don't want to fall for a scam, you need to educate yourself on how to properly deal with scams, how to detect them, and how to avoid their pitfalls. Otherwise, you're going to lose your unusual or nice items. It sucks people like this exist, but they do. All you can do is take measures to make sure you don't become a victim. Being ignorant about Steam scammers is no longer a choice these days. You need to be wary of them. You're literally spending money on them! Real world money on them! How could you do that? This argument is the worst. This is on par with the "it is the current year" argument tactic leftists try to use. Yes, people have, are, and will spend real money on virtual items for Team Fortress 2. It sure is funny, right? Funny how people will spend money on a hobby they have. Like, what the fuck? You don't criticize someone who collects coins, stamps, plays pinball, fish, or any other hobby just because they spend money on it. However, the reason you don't do that for them, but you do for TF2 traders, is because TF2 hobby is virtual, and that doesn't count in your eyes. Well, too bad, buddy, they do count. People like to have that one-of-a-kind unusual, and people like to collect unusuals to trade and barter with them. The sooner you accept that, better you will be. In conclusion, just shut the hell up about your stupid arguments about unusuals being bad. All arguments against them are just straw mans terribly blown out of proportion. Yeah, you can hate them, you can love them, but at least logically hate them. Don't just bandwagon off of a trend to fit in. Hell, don't bandwagon off of my video. Love unusuals like me if you love them, but love them for good reasons. Just how like you should hate unusuals if you hate them, but please hate them with good reasons. Oh yeah, I made a Virgin Overwatch versus Chad TF2 picture a while ago. I posted it, but some fucking retarded Reddit faggot stole it, wiped the watermark off of it, and took internet points off of my post. Whoever did that, I fucking hate you. You're a scum son of a bitch, and if we met in real life, I'd shove your shitty atheism fedora down your fucking throat. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna unsheath my own katana on your 5 foot tall, 2 inch ass. I fucking hate Reddit.